You're listening to Not a Ready-Made History, a four-part radio series put together by myself, Edwin Nasser, and Hera Chan as part of Savvy Contemporary's Savazar. In this series, we will be assembling and engaging the voices, experiences, and sounds from uprisings that took shape in 2019 and continue to unfold in Beirut and Hong Kong, but also Baghdad and Yangon, in order to draw parallels from and articulate solidarities between mass mobilizations across different geographies. The four parts are structured around reporting, unionizing, interfering, and instituting, each of which constitute part and parcel of the strategies, tactics, and modes of engagement we embrace and witness in times of uprisings and state violence.
So the image I have in my head is, a bunch of people kind of with their heads down and their hands in the dirt, and in the process of learning about the seasons, weather conditions, how to grow food, are also organizing in a broader sense. It's not at all a community garden, that you may see in Europe. I mean, and the idea is to use also culture as a as a conduit, I guess, as something that comes with its own capital and its own networks, and to make use of those networks in a way where you can rechannel interest, movement, funding into something that is, internationally or globally relevant, but that is also very much locally anchored. So I think in the next month or two, we will be able to launch this, and I think the struggle will be, or the challenge will be, to be strategic in how we balance the cultural programming around it and the very real kind of hands-on work that needs to get done, and to make sure that one is always in the service of the other. And so this movement kind of from between art and non-art, let's say, just to kind of simplify things, starting something that maybe doesn't look like art, but that ends up being art somehow, or vice versa, using art structures to do some other work, like this kind of passage back and forth, both in thinking and also in doing, has been inspiring, I guess, for me.
And I say this because I say all of this because what's important about it isn't just that people are starting foundations to support art, and some of these foundations are there because they're sort of engineering a new political reality for themselves as being sort of patrons of the arts, as opposed to being warmongers. But the point of that is, like, the stakes are not just that we're going to lose interesting art, or that we're going to lose art, or that people aren't able to make art anymore. The stakes of it, the real stakes in these places is that we no longer have these swaths of earth to live in, right? And we see that happening more. It's very obvious, and it's very much laid out. And Iraq has and continues to be this incredible blueprint of what's taking place.
So we started from maybe some more brick and mortar spaces now into a wider understanding of ecology and the arts. Unfortunately, we are nearing the end of our time here on this particular show, though not the end of time for our conversations at large. I just wanted to thank all of you, Clara, Tet, Regine, and Haig, for joining us today for this session.